Hello everybody, my name is Joe and this is Vaulted Assets X. We have an emergency video today, high priority, all hands on deck. I need your help with acquiring the 2026 Topps Chrome UFC debut patch cards. So for those of you that don't know what the UFC debut patch card is and why it's so important, we're going to do a little reminder. So back on May 28th, 2025, UFC.com published an article that the Topps UFC debut patch program will be launching. And this is what the patch looked like. And it debuted at UFC Fight Night Blanchfield vs. Barber in 2025. And the debut UFC fighters that wore this patch in their prelim bouts were Michael Aswell and Andreas Gustafsson right there. And when this was announced, it was a huge deal in the UFC collecting world because they've done this program in other sports. They've done it in soccer, I believe, for MLS, whichever one Topps has the rights to. And also the big one is Major League Baseball. So Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens has his MLB debut patch card auto. I believe it went for $1 million and was purchased by Dick's Sporting Goods, and it's on display in one of their stores. I believe it's the store in Pittsburgh near the stadium. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. It's on display there. You can go into the store and take a look at it. It's an iconic card, and collectors love this patch and this card. And my goal when this came out, that I made to myself and promise, was I wanted to at least get one debut patch from UFC, is the debut one, just because I think it's special in the history and culture and collectability of UFC cards. But in the back of my mind, I was like, it'd be kind of cool to get one, but it'd kind of be cool to get 2 or 3 or 4, as many as I can get. So as you can see here, this announcement in 2025, it only mentions 2 fighters, and it doesn't say how many. So we were kind of left in the dark. So now 2026 Topps Chrome has released. And in the debut of Topps Chrome, we have these debut patches. So Topps did a little promo a few days ago on Instagram, 5 days ago. First ever UFC debut patch cards have arrived. Fighters wear a patch on their shirt on the way to the octagon before their very first UFC fight. The patch is then removed and placed on a one-of-one autograph card. And then there's a redemption for those cards inserted into the product. Put the redemption, you submit it, you get the card. So let's look at some of these images. So we have the Andreas Gustafsson, which was mentioned in the article from 2025. We have the Michael Aswell UFC debut, first ever to wear. So how cool is that this is the first fighter to wear UFC debut patch in the octagon? Like, this card I want, without a doubt. We have the Alvin Hines debut patch. We have the Mark Choinsky, I believe that's how you say it, patch. Then the Suk Huing Koi, or Ku, debut patch. And the Jackson McVeigh. So if you count how many there are, to go to the beginning, Gustafsson is 1, Aswell 2, Hines 3, Chonsky 4, Ku 5, and McVeigh 6. So you would think there's 6 based on this Topps promo. So here's where it gets a little confusing. So looking on Reddit, do a little research, and Topps did a little promo here. This was about 2 months ago. Talks about one of the greatest comebacks you'll ever receive from Marwin Freaky Rahiki. Talks about he's 7-0 at the time. Makes his UFC debut tonight and will wear a debut patch. So the question is, this was not on the teaser that was on Instagram for the Topps Chrome 2026 release, but it's clearly promoted here on their page, but it doesn't say it's inside Topps Chrome. So does that mean that this is being saved for another product in the future and they're spreading out the debut patches? Or does it mean it's in the Topps Chrome product, but they didn't announce it? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe someone out there does. And to make it even more complicated, we go over to Beckett.com and we type in, a search for the word debut. And it talks about debut patch autographs make their first appearance, special patch, first UFC fight, and it shows the Aswell card, which you know about. But the word debut doesn't come up anywhere else on the checklist. And if you scroll through it, there's no mention or reference to the checklist in the full checklist. It doesn't show who's in the debut patch. So that makes it even more confusing. Like, I don't know how many are in the product, how many are being saved for future product, or what the plan is. And that is a little frustrating, but also a little bit cool because it has a little bit of mystery. So I'm trying to have a balanced approach to it. So what do I need from all of you? So on Instagram and on a YouTube short, I put out a bounty on the Michael Aswell of $2,000. So I'm willing to pay $2,000 for this card, but I'm also placing bounties on the other cards. So the Aswell is $2,000 because it's the first one. And while these cards are cool, I mean, we can honestly say like a lot of these are weaker rookies, but it's not so much about the fighter, it's about the significance of the card in UFC collecting. So I'm placing a bounty of $1,000 on every single UFC debut patch, with the first one doubling it to $2,000. So if you could please share my YouTube account, my Instagram account down below, X account down below, reach out to me. Please put it out there if you're in a break and you see it, if you can share it with me, let me know, or contact the person. Like, I don't want to make it any work for you. Just send me the info and I'll do all the legwork behind the scenes, obviously. But yeah, I think these cards are so cool and historical, and the color of them is pretty slick. And I wonder if some of them were different color, because if we go back to this image, like, it's clear it's a white with a black interior. But I wonder if, I'm assuming they're all exactly the same. I mean, that would make sense. But so cool. Such a great piece of collecting. And I'd love to get at least one, but I want to add as many as possible. So that's all I got today. One last thing, I look on eBay, I set up search parameters every day. So just to jump on eBay real quick, pull that up. So I have searches for debut patch UFC, but just to do a current search, highest priced 2026 UFC Chrome, the 101 Wang Kong. There's the Pantoja Market Champion Superfractor. Some pretty high ticket cards, the Ilya Superfractor 101, Yuri Flashback 101. There's some cases, some boxes. But some of these cards are really slick. Like the Helix is a cool design. I like that. Superfractors are always looking good. But there's the John Jones out of 10, Marks the Champion. But yeah, so far I've not seen one hit eBay. There was a rumor that somebody hit a debut patch on a break on YouTube. But I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't been able to verify it. But again, please contact me if you have these cards or you know someone that does. Man. Having this in a showcase at a show would be so cool. Great conversation starter. The story of how the card was obtained is kind of cool to share too. Anyway, like and comment, subscribe. UFC content, collectibles content. I know I said I was going to focus more on other collectibles, but most of my videos have been all about UFC. That's what's been on my mind. That's what's been on my brain. And in the future, I had a request on Instagram to do a summary video of my sealed wax position for UFC, which is probably about time I should do that. Do a review of inventory, some things I've purchased. I made a couple of pretty big purchases recently for some sealed vintage cases at UFC. So that'll be a fun video to do. Stay safe, be healthy, and I'll talk to you again soon.